Now slide is visible, right?
Yes, sir.
Can you see? Yes. As you know, dear participant, today again we continue the second uh, session or first session of today's. Myself, Dr. M. Shanmugam. Let me discuss today under the program MAEOH, Master of Arts in Environmental Occupational Health, under which the subject Agriculture and Allied Sector in the block 3 Sustainable Agricultural Management. This is the subject what we are discussing. Under this block, we have Unit 1, Biological Pest Control. So in the previous session, what we saw or what we discussed about this the pollution which takes place in the agricultural activity and its impact on the environment, what are the causes, what is impact on the environment, and all those things we discussed in the earlier classes. Let me discuss today the biological pest control. So what is the importance of biological pest control? Because we saw that how much the environmental impact created by agriculture related pollution. Because of it creates an impact on environmental soil degradation and environmental pollution. It may be air pollution, it may be water pollution, it may be the soil pollution because of this agricultural sector related activity and consequent use of the pesticides. That's what. So in order to see alternative to that, in order to reduce the burden of this pollution effect arise from the agricultural activity, how to we have to use the alternative way which will reduce the impact of pollution on the environment. So that is why the biological pest control plays an important role. So under which what we are going to discuss in the introduction, agriculture is facing an immense challenge to feed the growing population because in the entire world, not the country, not the one place, agriculture is very, very essential. Without food, we can't imagine our life. So that is why the ever growing human population, agriculture facing a immense challenges because it has to give the food to all. So what are the constraint in that in order to make this successive and productive agriculture? What the problem we are facing, the agriculture sector, is changing climate and declining soil productivity and changing pest dynamics. See, the changing climate, it may be the various reason that we already studied. So that climatic change due to the environmental pollution, other anthropogenic activity, which it may be urbanization, it may be industrialization, no, because of the several human activities that which makes its own impact on climate. So which leads to declining the soil productivity. If the soil productivities decrease, then it will impact on the productivity of the agricultural product. And the managing pest is also very important in order to make a good yield from the agricultural activity. In fact, the insect pests and weeds are constituted as important constraint to global agriculture production. So what will happen in the agricultural product activity? The pest is a major matter of concern, and also the weeds, because when we intend to grow the agricultural crops, the weeds are inevitable. So it grows along with that. That control also having a impact on the production of the food. No, integrate pest management aims to. So in order to make them, so we need to in a integrated way of the pest management, how to control. That means how to control the pest. Our goal here is the study of sustainable management. What we are going to study, sustainable agriculture management means we need to balance the uses of the pesticides or reduce of the pesticides, and the same way and we have to manage the pest. That is our aim, because pest will have an impact or will cause us a reduction in the production of the food quantity. So to achieve that, pest management is plays very important role. So the integrated pest management aims to achieve safely, durability, profitability through adaptation of novel and innovative pest management tactics, and capitalizing the synergies existing between the methods of pest management. So we need a profitability, we want a safety, we want a durability to have the produced food to be stored. To achieve all those things, we need to have in a control over the pest, right? So the pest management via biological pest control holds a prominence from the perspective of agriculture sustainability. Here we use the agriculture sustainability means, see, it is clear that we need to control the pest in order to getting more yield. That is our goal. But the usage of the pesticides which lead to the contamination. That is why that's why we need to balance our agriculture sustainability is plays an important role. What is the agriculture sustainability? The soil quality or the product what we grow, it should not be affected because of this the usage of the pesticides. So in a such a way we need to manage. That is why we called as the agriculture sustainability. So biological pest control is recorded as early as the 4th century in China. So it is not in the new concept what we know the biological pest control. It is in a very old, where the hands were used to control the citrus crop pest. See, imagine. So some of the see the pest which is are destroying the food or the crop, uh, which used to controlled by the hands in the field. So it should causes a minimum damage, because the others you may think that this may also may hit the crop, but the comparatively the other pest, whatever the other insect, whatever whether it is a micro or the macro, whatever the predators or the pest which you used to controlled by these ants in the earlier days. Biological pest control was established as one of the best management tactics in 1888. See, 1888. Imagine the here where when the biological pest control were in practice. When C.V. Riley and Albert Cobella successfully introduced Vedelia beetle, that is an insect, Rhodelia cadentialis, to control cottony cushions, the scale Aeseria purchase. That is called pest, which you used to control them. These beetles were used. Further, insects were also used to control weeds like prickly pear cactus, klamath weed, musk thistle. So, along with the controlling the pest, they're also used the insects to control these weeds, because that will eat those weeds and uh, minimize the growth, and helpful for the more growth of this uh, the product or the crop what we decide to grow. Biological control, it is a purposeful use of an organism. So what we understand the biological control means our biocontrol. So biological means we it's not the chemical. Imagine, so in order to control the pest, we use the chemicals, a group of chemicals or various type of chemicals to control the pest. But alternative to that, the biological control means using the biological, that is organism, to control the pest. The purposeful use of an organism to eliminate locally undesirable organism or reduce its population to a level such that it is incapable of causing economic damage. So when we use the biological organism to eliminate or to control the pest or the weed in the crop field, so we will increase the damage which cause to the crop. That's called we will minimize the economic damage caused by the pest. And biological control aims to utilization of natural enemies. So what it means, you need to understand the biological control. The word, if you remember the biological control, that is the organisms or the which are used to kill our natural enemies. These are the natural enemies which control the pest. Like what are those? The parasitoids, predators, pathogen to reduce the damage caused by pest tolerable levels. Okay, so these are the some of these, the organism which are used to control the pest. Parasitoids and predators are predominant in the domain of biological control of pest, and yes, as synergistic impact in the integrated pest management. So what will happen? These are these insect parasites, which are a group that what we call the insect, and some of the predators of the insect group are very plays very important role in with respect to the biological control of the pest. Okay, and the impact in the integral pest control management. So where these organisms are makes a very important role. Additionally, the benefits occurred with parasitoids and predators are ecological balance and connotation of perspectives. That means ecological balance means what? Here we can understand the damage happen to the soil or happen to this environment will be taken care. So when you look into the parasitoid, is an insect parasite, an arthropod, which is a parasitic and immature stage, and adults are free living. See, I mentioned that with respect to biological control, the biological organisms are these organisms which are used to control the pest. That is clear. Now come to the parasitoid. The parasitoid is an insect parasite. It is an insect parasite of an arthropod group, which is in a no, which is used with this organism as an adult stage or free living. That is a free living insect, right? But and the most of the insects belong to this order are Hymenoptera and Diptera class Insecta. This comes under the class Insecta and order of that and are parasitoids. And they are free living adult parasitoids spy on the environment to look into suitable host and lay the eggs. How it control the pest? We can say how this one insect control the other insect which we consider as a pest, right? So that is important. So what it will do, this pest will control, which will go and laying the eggs on the pest body. So where the eggs are grown and it will emerging while it's surviving, it will kills or it will inactivate this pest. So that way the pest will be controlled or destroyed or killed. We'll see that also. So parasitoids either penetrate the body, integument, and lays eggs inside the host. See, it may be the parasite, the eggs, no, it will make go inside the host, okay, and the or it lays eggs the host body in a such a manner that eggs are attached to the host body. What will do this parasitoids which lays the eggs? Say for example, this is an insect which already one insects are there which are damaging the crop largely or eating the crop or causing the damage, where this insect lays the eggs over the body of the pest what we target organism pest, where it lays the eggs. Then what will happen? The young emerging larvae of the egg, see from the egg, the larvae get emerge, feed on the host tissue. So the host tissue here is the pest, right? And the pest host tissue will be eaten and the metamorphosis into an adult. Then it grows. So the larvae, it eating the host body, it takes it as a food, and then it slowly metamorphoses. That means it's growing into an adult in the process of development of young larvae. So when it sinks, that it kills the pest insect in the agriculture or the crop field. The parasitoid are gradually weakens and kill the host insect. In that way, what will happen? Gradually, the eggs which are in the body of the pest, right? It gradually weakens and kills the host insect. The parasitoids are used frequently for the control of crop pest. So, what are the crop pests? There it can be used to control that. Apart from that, the microbial microbes also used to control to the pest. So microbial control, what mean by microbial control? It is defined as a control of pest by use of microorganism. So in that way, because by using by applying the microorganism like virus or bacteria, protozoa, fungi, rickettsia, and nematodes, other products. These are the some of the examples of these microbial no, microbes which are being used in order to control these the pests which are in the crop field. The microbes that are used for microbial control can be categorized into two groups based on their entry into the pest. So what these microbes, how this entry into the host and then how it the action takes place, how it the kills the pest, it will be broadly based on the entry of the pest. There, they are ingested microbes and penetrating microbes. So these microbes, what we are applying, whether it is a fungi or is a micro bacteria or is a virus, what we are applying in the crop field to control the pest, they can be entering the host of the pest organism either by through ingested or by penetrating. Penetrating means over the body, it will takes into the pest. While the ingested microbes refers to the microbe that enter into the pest body through the feed. So ingested means because what will happen, this pest insect or the pest, whatever it is there in the field, which consume the food. So through which we apply this bacteria or fungi or which will not impact on the host crop. That we have to keep it in mind. So whatever we apply as a biological pest control organism, make sure that that will not affect the crop what we are growing, but it should be selectively affect or kill or minimally destroy the pest only. So in that way, these microbes what we are applying, which will enter into the pest organism either in two way, that is maybe ingested, taking a food while eating the crops, it will enter into along with the food. That is one thing. Later, that is penetrating microbes, refer that enter into the pest body through the body integuments. So through integument also, it will enter into the pest. As regards the positive contribute attributes for the successful microbial control, the pathogen need to be the virulent. So what is the requirement of this microbial organism we intend to use to control the pest? It should be virulent. That means it should be multiplied, because in a virus a small quantity, a minor quantity, we will make use that to control, but it has been multiplied in the host organism, that is the target biology pest, where it should be virulent. And that micro organism what we are applying, it should be cost effective, specific to the host, because that will be we have to culture, because whether my fungi or the bacteria or whatever the other microbes we are culturing, that you are using intent to use, it should be growing, it should be cost effective, because we have to apply more and more in the to control the pest, and specific to the host. And is a big, because it's not that all the microbes or these are damage to the all the insect pest what we are intent to target. It may be a specific host, and almost safety to the non-target organism, because some other organism which are present in this maybe in the soil where the crops are growing, we should not target non-target organism, that means that beneficial organism which are the present over there in the crop field. So that is why it should be in a virulent, the what with the microbes we are going to use, and it should be cost effective, and it should be host specific, and also should be safety to the non-target organisms. Then Egg parasite. So, for give an example, you may see what is the egg parasite. I told you mentioned earlier that egg parasite are used to control the pest in the crop field. Okay, I give one example. The remaining you can refer in the books or in the soft copy, whatever the content is available. Some more example you can use, right? The Trichoma cleonalis. This is the name of the parasite egg, which controls a cotton bollworm, sugarcane intermode, borer, and paddy leaf borer folder. These are what the cotton bollworm, that are the pest, and sugarcane internode, that is a pest, sugarcane internode borer, and paddy leaf borer folder. These are the pest. So which this pest will be controlled by using applying the biological or the insect called Trichoma clonis, that is called egg parasite. So this is one example for this how the biological control can take place in order to control the pest. This example you can note down or you can remember. Then we come to biofertilizers. See, in this uh, sustainable agricultural management, we are going to discuss on the different topic that is called biological pest control and biofertilizers and manures, because these are the alternatives, and the organic farming and environmental health. Why these alternatives? We are looking an alternative for these chemicals or the pesticides, which is caused the unfavorable for the environment. That is why we are looking for this alternative way not to minimize the damage to the environment. Right. Under this, let me discuss about biofertilizers and manures, how it helpful for this uh, growth of the crop as well as the fertility of the health of the soil. Under which we are going to discuss about the introduction. This is a different unit under this sub block. Introduction, objectives and menus, types of organic menus, and bulky and organic menus, concentrated organic menus, and biofertilizers and type of fertilizers. I am highlighting the major things under this topic, under these headings, and in detail, if you refer the book, you can get the more and more information about the biofertilizer and menus. So, the most important challenge to mankind in the 21st century is to feed a rapidly growing population. That's already said. Why these components are we are repeatedly telling, because of this, the production of the food from the same available agricultural land, particularly in the developing countries. See, in the entire earth or the world, whatever the land availability is there, that is that much only. But what is happening? In addition, the population or the whatever the species, whatever the organism within that is keep on increasing. So the human population particularly keep on increasing or getting more and more. Not to meet the demand with the same stipulated available land, we need to fulfill our food requirement. So to fulfill if you keep on production, harvesting, and cultivation, the land having its own no limitation. So that is why we are looking the different avenue: organic farming, biofertilizer, biological control. So in order to minimize the damage and make the balance of the soil or the environment to keep providing us a good production of agriculture yield. That is the intention of these studies and the importance of these studies. So coming to here, without deteriorating environmental health, we need to continuously grow our food production. And at present, millions of people are suffering from or chronic malnutrition. So we know that why these are makes an important issue, because the ever in a developing countries, in ever growing population, we need to take care the environmental aspect also. At the same time, we need to take care these the poor people, and we are providing the nutrition. And if we grow more production of the food, and we can able to provide, or it is can available to the poor or people also. The indiscriminate use of fertilizer and other organic agrochemicals to increase the yield has resulted in contamination of the surface and groundwater. So what we using, whether it is a biofertilizer or these other chemicals also, we, since we are keep on using to intend to meet our requirement, but what will happen, it is contaminate this, contamination will happen in all the levels. The deteriorating soil quality, reduce the biodiversity. That biodiversity means what, this we are occupying the more forest cover area in order to cultivate the more land, and the biodiversity is definitely it will be lost, because we are where we can take the new land to for cultivation. So that is why in the, simultaneously there is a deterioration of the soil quality and reduce the biodiversity and increase the air pollution and suppress the ecosystem functioning and thereby affecting the environmental health. So these are the consequent effect of the no, what we use in the practice in order to increase of the food production. So the fertilizer what we are using is used for fertilizing material or carrier, which refers to substance which contains one or more essential essential elements. So the fertilizer, what we meant to say, the fertilizers are one which have the essential elements which are required for uh, the 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 good health of the crop or the good production in the crop field. So that those are all, these essential elements are nitrogen or phosphorus, potassium, sulfur, calcium, magnesium, iron, manganese, molybdenum, copper, boron, zinc, chlorine, sodium, cobalt, vanadium, and silicon. So these are all the important the elements which are essentially required for in a soil to give a good yield in the for the crop. Same way, the excessive use of fertilizer, if poorly managed, will lead to leaching the soil. See, we studied in the previous discussion class also, even the chemicals, even the fertilizer, we consider the fertilizers are very essential, very good, and is enrich the soil fertility and helpful for the production of the food. But if you excessive use of this fertilizer, even the potassium or the phosphate or the no nitrogen, so the consequent effect of this, what will happen again, it will contaminated the water body, what we call say the eutrophication. So what will taken this excessive fertilizer what we applied in the crop field, it will leaching to it, leaching. So it will be the excessive use of fertilizer, if poorly managed, it will lead to the leaching in the soil. That means what? It take away the soil content nutrient, other places, volatilization, getting vaporized, acidification, and emission of ammonia and methane, nitrous oxide, and elemental nitrogen from the soil system due to denitrification. All this will happen because of this excessive use of the nutrients. The water soluble nutrient through the leaching cause eutrophication. Eutrophication. So I told that this more the nutritional aspect of what nutrient applied in the field, which will take into the water body, where it where it helps to grow the algae blooms. So it will cause eutrophication. Once the eutrophication happens, what happens? The water quality will be get deteriorated. Oxygen content will be less. Then it will the water body or the resource where it is happening, and it is not fit for the other organism to survive there. Okay, and luxuriant growth of algae and other water weed posing alarming threat to the human and aquatic health. That means aquatic body, wherever the other many other organism, useful organism, maybe the fish, the crab, or other things are there, it will affect them, and their survival will also become no threatened. To overcome the ecological problems resulting from the excessive or indirect use of fertilizers, organic manures and biofertilizers are sustainable solution by increasing the effluent nutrition and availability in the soil and environmental friendly. So what will happen? This excessive use of these fertilizers in the field, we need to minimize it to keeping the view in mind, that is the eutrophication, other soil acidification, other things. To minimize those effects, we switch over to the or we have to consider the organic manure, right? Again, it will some extent, it will unscientific way of applying those things in the crop field will decrease this impact on the environment. So that is why the efficient nutrition availability in the soil in the environmental friendly manner. So crop husbandry relies on the use of chemical fertilizer to increase the crop productivity. That's what we studied. However, the use of chemical fertilizer and pesticides cause tremendous harms to the environment. So the chemical fertilizers and pesticides, what will the impact it will create on this environment that already we know, and to reduce those things, and we are looking the alternative way that is called biofertilizer and organic manure. So organic manures are the valuable byproduct farming and allied industries and derived from the animal and plant residues. So what this mean by organic manure? Really, it is a valuable organic manure or valuable byproduct. It considered as and it's derived and it's we get from these animal and plant residues because it's get originated from the plant residue only and animal only, so that way it will be less effect on this soil or environmental environment. So organic manures are either plant or animal based waste. So when you talk about the organic manure, these are the either from plant originated or animal based waste, what we call organic manure, containing nutrients that can be used to replenish soil nutrient and also meet the crop demand. So here the two aspects are there. What the crops required to have a good growth or good yield, the soil nutrients should be managed or should be good or in good condition. So these organic manures are contains in a nutrient that we use to replenish the soil value and also meet the soil demand. Based on the types of organic manures, if you see the what are the types of the organic manures here, based on the nutrient concentration and the nature of manures, organic manures can be grouped into bulky organic manures and concentrated organic manures. So the based on the nutrient content, concentration present in the organic manure and nature of the manures. Nature means where it's get originated, whether it is animal originated or the plant originated. So that's called nature of originated. This organic manure. It again it will be classified into the bulky and the concentrated one, right? So the bulky organic manures are bulky in nature. That means large. Bulky means more and supply plant nutrient in small quantity of the plant nutrient and supply the plant nutrient in a small quantities, right? As the bulky organic manures contain a small percentage of plant nutrient, large quantity of manure are applied to the soil. So what will happen? A small quantity if you apply and the manure applied to the soil to the more. Though the nutrient though the nutrient content is less, the, the manure provides a favorable soil ecosystem for a crop growth and development. The nutrient content is less, the manure provides favorable soil ecosystem and crop growth and development. See, sometime what will happen, the manure what we apply, it should not be there more or will be over or excess. It should be in a balanced way. So that in that way, the soil condition or the crop growth also will be normal. Commonly, bulky organic manures are farmyard manure, greenhouse green manure, green leaf manure, and rural and urban composite. So these are commonly what comprises this organic manure. So organic manure again it will involve, that means it comprises all these categories, right? Each one is separate that we are going to highlight in the coming slides. What is the farm yard manure and green manure and green leaf manure and the urban composite. The bulky organic manures are preferred on account of following enable features. In addition to supplying the macronutrient like nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, these manures supply essential microorganisms because bulky organic manures are why it's preferred to in order to provide additional of macronutrients um, to the crop. The bulky organic manures favor and enhance the activity of. So, what will the benefit of this bulky organic manures in the crop field? It's soil microbiota, resulting in the maintenance of ecological integrity of the soil ecosystem. See, when you applying the organic manure, okay, to improve the quality or enhance the quality of the soil. So the soil microbiota, microbial microorganism of the soil, uh, to maintain the ecology integrity of the soil ecosystem, and soil microbiota augment the soil nutrient availability. It will augment because it will make a control over that of the soil, and improvement in the biological property soil due to the organic manures enable the favorable soil physical and chemical property. So this organic manure will having a role in the soil, the physical property and the chemical property will be maintained by this applying this organic manure. And physical property like soil structure, what with the physical property soil structure, porosity, water holding capacity of the soil, etc., are markedly improved due to the manure application. See, uh, when we apply for these synthetic or the chemical pesticides to increase the production of the crop yield, no, it will have then a negative impact. Of course, it will give the production, it will give the no yield, but it has its own a negative impact. But whereas in case of this organic manure, what we apply to the crop field, so it will give the enhance the soil property. That means this soil structure that's also makes very important in order to balance, in order to retain the soil quality and water holding capacity of the soil will be more when you apply for the organic manure. And concentrated organic manures, that is called bulky organic manure, what we now discuss. Now this no uh, concentrated organic manures that are concentrated in nature and containing higher percentage of plant nutrient than bulky, like nitrogen, phosphorus, and potash, are known as a concentrated organic manure. So the concentrated means the more amount or the quantity of these nutrients will be there. That's why they call it as a concentrated organic manure. So the plant originated or plant-based manures can be divided into. So earlier we discussed the type of the manure which are collected with or originated from the plant, or the manure organic manure from the animal source or the plant sources. The plant originated or plant-based manure can be again divided into edible oil cake and non-edible oil cake. These are the will come under this organic manure, where again it be divided into the two types. The common edible oil cakes are sesame cake, a groundnut cake, and linseed cake, etc. These are the common edible cake which can be used for there. Whereas the non-edible cakes are neem cake, castor cake, cottonseed cake. Also, this plays in a role of organic manure. On the other hand, the animal originated concentrated organic manures are bone meal or fish meal or hoop meals, blood meals, and poultry manures. So the what we saw, this oil cake or this the groundnut cake or linseed cake, these are all these plant product, or it originated from the plants. But whereas in the animal originated organic manures, what we call this, no, if you the hoop meals or blood, all the poultry manures, all will come under this, no, uh, animal originated base organic manure. Then we come with the farmyard manure. Farmyard manure, it is a traditionally manure and is readily available to farmers, right? It is a product of decomposition of liquid and solid excrete of the livestock. What is the farmyard manure? That means the farmyard manure, it is the product of decomposition of a liquid and solid excreta of the livestock stored and dried in a farm. So what will happen? This excreta, what they will do? They collect it from those farm, right? And they make them dry and they stored, and then later on, and it will go for the decomposition, right? Then it's applied for this as a manure for the field in order to increase the nutritional value of the soil. Yeah, the portion of the cattle dung is used as a fuel in the rural farms. Right. Farmyard manure mainly constitute the decomposed mixture of farm animal waste like dung and urine and refuges of the dry fodder. Dry fodder also, because these some of these greenish fodder will become a dry. Then that also can be used as in a farmyard organic manure and litter that are left over in the cattle shed. So whatever the waste which are remains or which are left over in the cattle shed, that can be collected, and that is a farmyard waste that can be decomposed, that can be used as in a manure from the crop field. Generally, during the storage of the manures at the field, the nutrients are lost due to the process like volatilization, leaching, and microbial action. Right. So what will happen in the storage also? Some of the nutrients of this, value or nutrients getting lost by this process, and the loss of nutrients can be minimized by adopting care and improved methods of composing. So in that way, we can minimize this loss of these nutrients. And on average, a well-rotted farmyard manure contains 0.5% nitrogen, 0.025% of phosphorus and potassium. Based on this data, we can estimate that an average dressing of 25 tons of per hectare of farmyard manure supplies 112 kg of nitrogen. So this figure what we give is how much this manure or the waste, the organic farmyard waste, which can give the nutrition, or we can get the nutrition for our soil. Then composite. When you compute the composite manures are the decayed refuse like leaves, twigs, roots, stubbles, bushel, crop residues, and degradable kitchen waste, etc., are under the composite manures. So we can make them these kind of waste can be collected, can be used, because the leaves which are fallen from the trees, twigs or roots, right? The crop residue, in the crop field, all this can be in make use for this composite, subject to the composite, and later on it can be processed for the uh, use for this as a manure. The process of decomposition is increased by adding nitrogen material like cow dung and fertilizer. The process of decomposition increases. That means to when we decompose these things, we can use a add nitrogen material like the cow dung or fertilizer to increase this uh, process. A large number of soil microorganisms feed on this waste and convert it into the well-rotted manure. What is composite? Where see the large number of small microorganisms are no which is you which are using this waste or feeding this waste, okay, and converted into the manure. So that is the outcome product out of what we collected this waste and make them in a useful product called a manure. In other words, we can say we can construct composite will rotten organic matter obtained from the waste. So what means so when we say the composite, so the waste which are collected from organic in nature, that you make into useful product, the waste become converted into the useful product as a manure, what we call then a composite manure. Farm waste like trash, straw, wheat plant, etc., can be converted into the farm composite. So not only that, the farm waste, wherever we these organic, natured, it may be plant, that waste which are available, we can make into converted into the farm composite. The organic waste are the waste of the biological animal agro-industry origin can be converted into valuable manure by compositing. That is the intention for this study. The source of organic waste may be classified. Where the organic manure sources we can get it from. So we know that organic waste we are getting from different sources that can be used to convert into organic manure, right? So where are these sources we are getting from? So that means agriculture crop, the in agriculture industry or the agriculture field, crop residues that may be paddy. We know that of the paddy cultivation, that paddy residues, straw, sugar cane, trash, etc., or weeds. All this can be contribute for these uh, organic sources for the for requirement of the composite. Then animal husbandry, that may animal and with respect to the animal husbandry, dairy, goat, sheep, poultry, piggery. So all these where these waste are collected, as I told, that is dried and is make it composite, then it will make use as manure, then it applied for the feed where you are required for the enrichment of this soil quality, and and it's consequently gives the good yield of the crop. And again the sugar cane industries, then coir industries, that means coir pick fruits, vegetables, and then processing industries, and also the municipal activities, right? Municipal activities, household, municipal solid waste, market waste, vegetables, fruits, flower, and more. See, nowadays we can see in the urban area, there's a large, vast quantity of this, no, all this kind of the unused, that is after the use, it may be unused otherwise, what where we can say, we can see where we can witness in the cities there are no market vegetables, large quantity of the vegetables are which are in the during transportation or during the storage, or it may be the fruits or there may be flowers which are after leftover after usage. All this can be a sources for this organic manure that can be converted into a useful product for the application in the crop field. The composite has the unique ability to improve the properties of soil and growing the media physically and nutritionally and biologically. So the composite has an unique ability. These composite waste are the no. That is why, because it's originated from their own sources, the plant sources only, the animal waste only, right? This can be used for this as a nutritional product. Some of the benefits of using composites are improve the soil structure, as we already discussed in the different, see whether it is a biofertilizer, organic farming, or the no this farmyard for usage. All these will contribute, because why we are highlighting in different no title and topic here, the whole contribution of this, the importance of this usage will improve the soil structure, porosity, the bulk density, and the other physical properties that creating a better plant growth, better plant root environment. So this will enhance, this will increase this the nutrition value of the soil, as well as the contribute to the plant growth, increase the moisture infiltration and permeability of the heavy soil, and thus reducing the erosion and the runoff. See, which increase the moisturizing infiltration. That means even if the minimum waters are available, this permeability, that means will going into water going into entering into the soil will be improved in case of the heavy soils, and reducing soil erosion. What will happen? The soil erosion will be reduced. That is mean they take away of the soil by various way, maybe wind, or it may be water, whatever the way the soil are get eroded. This application of the manure will reduce those uh, loss of the nutrient from the soil, improves the water holding capacity. Again, this compositing manure, what we using is improve the water holding capacity, that reducing the water loss and leaching the sandy soil, right? So what will happen? This soil holding capacity, water holding capacity of the soil will be increased. It will hold the more water in case of the dry environment with a minimum water, and reducing water loss. So water loss is in a very, very important aspect with respect to the plant growth, even with a minimum water supply, because now we know that the rainfall, the rain season, which are not in a constant, or which are not in a predictable. It comes with heavy, it takes away and makes the loss. If not comes, it becomes a drought. So again, it makes lead into that loss of to the farmers. So for sustaining this quality of the soil, not to withstand to the drought environment, or with minimum water quantity, this holding capacity of the soil is also very, very important, and supplies variety of macro and micronutrients, because apart from that, this composite manures which also provides a lot of macro and micronutrients to the soil, supply benefits microorganisms to the soil and growing media. So it supplies the microorganism, because not only the plant health what we are looking into the crop field or the soil, but also we have to take care or the the microbial microorganism which are present over there, there which are beneficial to the plant or the soil, to also be equally important. So in that case, improves the stabilize the soil pH, because this what will happen, this microorganism present in the soil, which again it depends upon this or the survivability or this growth, again depend upon the soil pH value. The soil pH also should be in a balanced or normal, and can bind the degraded specific pollutant. And also this can what happen, no, this microorganism can bind the degrade the specific pollutant in the soil also. Then come to the vermicomposite. Vermicompositing or worm compositing. So this is another natural way of this converting this waste into the useful product for the purpose of agricultural land or agricultural usefulness. The vermicompositing or compositing is in a decomposing organic waste with earthworms. Earthworms in a waste we have to introduce or you apply these earthworms, and worm composting creates in a fine black granule substance called casting. So it will make a powder like no after the decomposing from the vermi no action. What will happen? A powdery manure, what we get, that can apply to the field. So worm castings are an excellent source of a slow release soil fertilizer, and manures a sustainable agricultural management. So this worm casting, what called the outcome of the worm composition by using a worm compositing, converting a waste into a manure, are an excellent source. What we we understood, and release the bio soil fertilizers, right? And also it gives a many nutrients to the plants, right? Vermicomposite is a nutrient-rich natural fertilizer and soil conditioner that sustain healthy plant life and vital vital for plant growth. So this is very, very important for the plant growth, and since it's providing the natural way of providing this nutrition to the plant growth. So worm fertilizers adds to beneficial microorganism and soil fauna that helps the breakdown of organic material and convert nutrient into more available form of the plant. So what will happen? The availability of the plant's readily availability, or immediately the plant can use these nutrients with more easier or more simplifier if you provide this organic manure in the form of casting, that is called the fertilizer obtained from these uh, vermiform fertilizers. As I told, it is the vermicompost improve the soil structure. Again, this all these contributes with respect to the soil structure, aeration, as well as the increase the water holding capacity of the soil, and plants grow stronger and have a deeper root system and better cut tolerance and disease resistance. So what will happen? So this, because this will give the strength to the plant roots of this kind of the manure. So what is the advantage of this compound of the manures and different types what we are studying so far? So having its own important role not to prevent the strength to the soil and strength to the plant. So the plants grow stronger when you apply this kind of the manure and have a deeper root. And the deeper root means the root can go or grow deeper and better drought tolerant balance. That means what if the roots are more or deeper and the drought tolerance, that means with respect to the drought condition or minimal water supply, it can tolerate, that plant can tolerate, and also can disease resistance. So when affect the with the disease, that also it will give the strength to the plants, and that's what we call a disease resistance of the plant. The vermicomposite contains a major and minor nutrients in the plant available forms, right? Enzymes, vitamins, and plant growth hormones. See, vermicomposite contains major and minor nutrients in plant available forms, so it will it will provide all those important vital nutrition to the plant. Next to the green manure, so we are seeing this different manure under the biofertilizers: green manure, farmyard manure, organic manure, biofertilizer. These are the different kind of these fertilizers which are we applying or we are experimenting with this agricultural land, and which in a different way enhance this quality of the soil and the quantity of the agricultural product, under which the green manures also plays an important role. What do you mean by the green manure? Green manuring is a process where in the green manure crops incorporated in the cropping system are either brought from the outside or grown in situ. So the for applying the green manure, we can collect from the outside what the green manure available, right? Or we can grow inside for this purpose only, and we can intention to make use in the agriculture flat to get the benefit out of that. So the green leaf manuring involves collection of green biomass from wasteland, bounds, and farm nearby location, incorporate into the soil. So the green, actually this pertain to the green manure, collection of green biomass, all green bio, that means the green uh, plants, resource, source that we collected and applied to the soil. Essentially, both green manure and green leaf manuring involve soil incorporation of green biomass that are young and amendable for quick microbial decomposition. So what will happen? It will be quickly decomposition and it can be applied. The benefits of green manuring include the following. The foremost advantage is the green manuring aids is improvement of the physical and chemical and biological property of the soil. So that is the so it strengthen the soil properties on all this way, right? And organic matter is replenished through the green manure in the arable crop field and thus maintaining the soil organic carbon, and which is provide pivotal for the functioning of the soil ecosystem. So when applying for the green manure, we understood that the physical nature, and there is an improvement in the physical structure, chemical nature, and biological property of the soil. After that, the arable crop field thus maintain the soil organic carbon dioxide also. Then an account of symbiotic relationship of green manure crops, mainly in the leguminous family with the nitrogen fixing organism. There is a nitrogen fixing organism which fix the nitrogen into the soil that ultimately then the plant will utilize for. So the symbolic relationship between the green manure, this nitrogenous leguminous plant, or the nitrogen component mainly in me can be made available to the soil to make use that. And green manuring improves the soil nitrogen content. So when you wherever the soil after the testing, we saw the earlier class also, and the more than 47% of this soil are less content of the required nitrogen content in the soil. That is essential, one of the essential nutrient for the plant growth. So the green manuring improve the soil nitrogen content. So that's why this importance of this green manuring application. Green manures acting as a food source for soil microbiota. See, apart from providing this nitrogen to the plant updation, the green manure also acting as a food source for cycle microbia, paved the way for enhancement microbial mediated decomposition of organic matter. so that organic matter get violated, no, decomposed. Soil texture improvement is due to green manuring improves greatly soil tilth. Green leaf manure like uh, Azadirachta indica and Pongamia glabra have been reported to have in a control on insect pest. So these green manure also having a act as an pest control. Growing of green manure crops in the crops aid in translocation and movement of nutrient from deeper soil layers to the surface layer. So the green manure crops aid, so it helps translocation of movement of nutrient. So see, that is why from the deeper soil layer to the surface layer, see the green manure you apply to the soil in the crop field, it helps the soil, it helps the nutrients to makes the movement or translocation from deeper into the surface layer of the soil, and nutrition get in that way, make available readily to the crop. Sheep and goat manure. Now come to the animal source of the that manure. Animal source of the manure, the sheep and goat manure. The dropping of the sheep and goat and other nutrient as a manurial value, and regard these farmyard manure. So the waste, what we call the manure from the sheep and goat, can be used. A sheep and goat manure are higher percentage of sodium, potassium, nitrogen. The average composition of sodium and potassium in goat sheep during the comprise 0.65, 65%, 5%, and 0.03%, and thus these are the composition of this, the waste which are got originated from this, sheep or the goat manure, and that can be used for as a manure for the crop plant. And the sheep and goat manure are incorporated into the crop field either through the sheep penning or through the application of decomposed waste material collected from the animal sheds. So what they'll do, these manure, what we understood, these manure or these waste are collected from these, farms, and can be decomposed and can be used for this, uh, uh, for the growth of the plant as in a manure. Whereas in case of poultry, the manure poultry menu is rich in organic manure. See, we know that everywhere we can see that this animal, the poultry industries are growing, or it contributing the demand of the food requirement, right? Otherwise, the people who are depend on this, plant-based, food, and this poultry and the meat and the fish, which are the animal-based food, which reduce the burden or supply of the demand and supply of the food, right? So the poultry manure is rich in organic manure as the liquid and solid excreted together. The nutrient composition is much higher as compared to the other animal-based organic manure. So that means says that the poultry manure waste which comes higher nutritive value, that we can be used for this manufacture. The deep litter comprises 3.30% of nitrogen and potassium and this, phosphate from this poultry manure or the waste. Then come to the oil cakes. Oil seeds are rich with million ingredients, so by-product that is left after the oil extraction, called oil cakes, as much sought in the crop husbandry. So what these oil cakes? So that is after removing the oil or taking the oil from the seeds, the leftover things what we call uh, uh, extraction of the oil, we call it oil cake. Oil cake are rich in nutrient. Again, this after the extraction, the waste is generated, having a rich in nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. And due to the manurial property, oil cakes are used as a manure. However, the cost of the oil cake and also needs to be taken before the application. The oil cake can be classified based on the edible property into the edible or non-edible oil cake. Edible oil cake preferred as a cattle feed either consumption, improve the cattle health and productivity. Oh, because it will can be feed as in a cattle feed, right? Because it improves the health of this cattle by providing the nutrition. Further, it is profitable to use the edible oil cake as in cattle feed. Example of edible cake, oil cake, or groundnut cake and coconut cake, or these are the product which get after the extraction of this oil. Then other hand, non-edible oil cake that are not used as a feed include neem cake and custard cake, matuza. See, some of these after the oil extraction, the product which are not can be used as a feed for the cattle or the animals. No, so that can be those are all the neem cake and castor oil that can be used as a manure. Oil cakes are quick and acting organic manure. As a nitrogen present, the soil cake is readily available the crop plant. As the manure-powered oil cakes are applied to the soil well before sowing, so that is well decomposed before sowing. That means that what happened? No, this manure powder oil cake are applied to the soil well before sowing. That means when you are before sowing the any crop, that means seeds in the agricultural field. That time you will need to apply this cakes powder. Then we will go for the soil called the plantation or the sowing the seeds. Organic farming for environmental health. These are the fifth unit of this block, right? I'm trying to touch all the unit of the patent to block in order to give you some little bit input to your knowledge about the different topic of this block. So here, organic farming for environmental health. Here again, we see this object. What is objective? You can go study objectives and the introduction on what is organic farming, what definition, scope, and the chemical and organic farming and spiritual organic farming. These all also you can cover under this topic. We often come across the different organic products, both food and non-food, which are available in the market, including online business portal. That is means organic matter menu product. The organic products are produced, cultivated as the conventional products are produced, but the certain standards are maintained in organic product. That's called that's are usually be considered high quality or the cost wise also the high, which are the organic manure, the product which we access in the market. The prescription and precautions are built in the production system to make them safe, because the organic product or the which used to be considered as a safe and compared to the other products. So no synthetic chemical used in the organic farming. When we call organic, we go for this for saying something, they when you put a label as an organic farming product, right? So what it indicates, no synthetic chemicals used in the organic farming. Thus, the products obtained under the organic farming do not contain any chemical or its foreign residue, so are safe for consumption. So that is the meaning for that. So organic farming means less chemical things are used in those cases and can be used. They are equally safe for the environment where either through the wastage or byproducts are released. So that means the product which are grown by organic farming are produced by making a minimum waste byproduct and release it to the environment will cause a less damage to the environment. So they are equally safe for the environment where they either wastage or byproduct released by that. Under the organic farming, almost every food items are being produced. Day by day, the several food and non-food items are being added in the list in organic farming. We can come across many products nowadays coming into the market, organic in nature. India is the largest producer of organic cotton in the world. It is picking up across the world, right? Many countries are converting their major chunk agriculture under organic farming environmental safety, because our environmental safety is considered to be an important aspect on this. Besides, the organic products have superior quality, nutritional and keeping compared to the lab conventional products. So organic based products are having a superior quality with respect to the usage of non-use of chemicals and other values of the product. Many studies have also indicated that the quality of environment is healthy under organic farming. Organic farmers consider them as farmers and organisms, right? Organic agriculture is defined. Organic agriculture is defined as production system that sustain the health of soil, ecosystem, and people. So not only it will be taken care this health of the soil or the also taken care the health of ecosystem and health of the people. That's why these organic product values are considered as more. It relies on ecological process, biodiversity, and cycle-adapted local condition rather than the use of inputs and adverse effect. Organic agriculture combines tradition, innovation, and science of beneficial shared environment and promote the relationship and good quality of involved. The scope of organic farming is immense due to its varied advantage over the modern practice of chemical farming. Chemical farming applying this chemical no product or the chemical synthetic to pest control or other things chemical to increase the improve the uh, yield of the crop. So we are avoiding all those things in organic farming. That's why it's considered as more valued. The environmental pollution and health hazards beside loss in the soil fertility are some of the important attributes to the chemical farming. So the soil fertility will get lost in chemical farming and the health hazards are always there in chemical farming. All those things are taken care in the organic farming. Several stretches of land has become infertile. The groundwater has become unsuitable for drinking purpose. So when we go for the chemical farming, those effects we can see that is this. And examples of example, I can give the organic farming example here, some of one or two example, then the rest of the things you can refer the books. Cotton yield increase in India, a study conducted in 2003 in India showed that organic cotton yields were somewhat higher than in the conventional farms. So what we experimentally proved that organic cotton yields are more than what we practice in the conventional or chemical farming. India, due to the awareness about the organic food product, the demand for its increasing. The area under the organic farming is not increasing impressively, but the export and domestic consumption of are increasing to the tune of to 25 to 30 and 40% respectively. Overall, the Indian organic industries has sustained the annual growth of 50 to 60% production. Is good, no, for the we depend on production through the organic farming. Almost every state in the country produces the organic product. Some of the states have been trying to convert their full agriculture organic farming. Recently, Sikkim state has declared itself as an organic state. That means Sikkim can be more concentrated using the organic farming rather than the chemical farming. So that is, important toward in consideration of the environmental impact to reduce by the chemical damage to the environment. The maximum area under the organic farming is in Madhya Pradesh. Okay, that is 50%, 52%, followed by Maharashtra and Orissa. An account of an area expansion under this organic farming is presented in the table that you can refer. There are 6,50,000 farmers are registered in as organic farmers in our country, right? And the highest number in the world, India is the largest organic cotton, 75.2% in the world, followed by China. So that means organically what we produce in the cotton when compared to the global level. India ranks 33rd in terms of world total land under the organic cultivation and 88 in the terms of ratio of agriculture land, organic crops, total organic farming area. This is very good because we are moving towards this cultivating of organic farming. And principle of organic farming, the organic farming relies on the unfarm resource and devoid of any synthetic chemical in it. Maintaining the ecosystem healthy and conserving the resource within the inculcation of ethics in the operations are important principle of the organic farming. Under the organic farming, the farm considered as an organism. See, the organism farming, the motive of this is right maintaining the ecosystem healthy and conserving the resource. That is the where we are focusing with respect to the uh, adopting the organic farming. Now you can visualize that if you can consider something as an organism means it lives entity, then you can action should always be human. However, the principle of organic farming have been scientifically formulated by International Federation of Organic Agriculture Movements. So organic farming, a concept will be introduced to minimize the damage to the environment, not only the plant or the soil, as well as the consumption that is including the human beings. Okay, health of it. The principle of the health of the organic farming, agriculture should sustain and enhance the health of the soil, plant, animal, and human, and a plant as an one and as an individual. right? So this is the whole concept for this organic farming. The principle of ecology. Organic agriculture should be based on living ecological system and cycles, work with them and emulate them with help of sustain them. So these are the principle. What is the organic farming? No, aiming to. Organic agriculture should be managed in a precautionary and responsible manner to protect the health and well-being of current and future generation and environment. So that is the value of this organic farming in order to make the minimal damage to the organisms. And the principal care of organic agriculture should build in the relationship that ensure the farm fairness and with regard to common environment and health opportunity. All the above, the principles simply explain that organic farming considers the entire planet as an owner and individual. That means it takes care of the whole ecosystem uh, of this health or protection with respect to the following the organic farming. Thus, its actions shall be in the consonance with the requirement of the health ecosystem where the present generation can live and provide the ample space for generation to come. Right. Not only the present generation can use this benefit, and also the coming generation also may be an available bed available for this good land and environment for the production. So we all know that the ethics plays an important role in harmonizing various factors of cultivation and environmental production. Right, Government of India through its Ministry of Commerce and developed a national program organic production. Right in the year 2000, it's being implemented through the Agriculture and Processed Food Products Export Development Agency, a statutory body under the Ministry of Commerce. The standard for the organic products have been listed in OP. So So these are these area where we can follow the product crop production, livestock, beekeeping, aquaculture, and food processing and handling. All this where the safety of organic products will be taken care. Organic foods are supposed to be safer compared to their counterparts of the conventional production system, where the chemicals are recommended for use. Since no chemical and GMO are allowed in organic farming, so these are the importance of the organic farming. The chances of residual contamination of environment through this escape of organic food is minimal. Similarly, if any organism consumes any organic food product, there is a remotest response and any metabolic hazard due to the food. So now we are in the final. Under the conventional animal husbandry, the animal are fed with an antibiotic and other and chemical. They persist in the animal body, and it has been seen metabolic sometime are more radical uh, than in the originated chemicals. That means it is passed into the next level, right? The organic animal husbandry prohibits the use of form of chemical for the animal rearing, right? So the organic animal husbandry prohibits it stop it not it will not no entertain the use of any form of chemicals for the animal rearing. The pollen grains or croplands are safe for the working people in the farm. It is equally safer for bees and the other beneficial insect who visit the farm's crop plants for their different needs. So these are all about this block 3 about the sustainable agricultural management. I almost touched all the subject, the topic of this topic. Thank you. Now, if you have any one or two questions, we'll take, then we'll go for the discussion. Thank you very much.
No, sir, no questions.
Yeah, you're exhausted, continuous, continuous speaking. I know that because the 2 hour duration is very, really make you uh, things. Okay. Anyway,